Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for December 11, 2023, the Coach Class Travel Edition. And we begin with that story from the Financial Times as PwC UK has imposed restrictions on business class travel for partners. They say that they are cutting this out unless your flight is over 5 hours or it's, quote, business critical, end quote. Guess what? Every trip will now be business critical. Nevertheless, they're saying they are trying to reduce their carbon footprint because business class travel apparently is less green than sitting back in coach. So, good luck with your coach seats. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Richard Vandeford reporting that Nasdaq settles alleged Iran sanction violations for $4 million. The stock exchange operator agreed to this in a settlement with the Department of Treasury. A former Armenian subsidiary of Nasdaq allegedly processed trades and settled payments involving a sanctioned Iranian-owned bank, according to OFAC. The transactions occurred on a platform the subsidiary provided to facilitate overnight loans and foreign exchange trading among Armenia's banks. Nasdaq said it was pleased to have resolved the matter, adding that it maintains a robust compliance program and is committed to adhering to the highest levels of ethics and integrity. Next up, December 9 was International Anti-Corruption Day, a day for the global community to reflect on the progress and challenges in the fight against corruption and consider steps going forward. And now we have the 10th Conference of State Parties, COSP, C-O-S-P, to the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, where leaders across the globe will gather to make policy decisions and pave the way forward in our collective effort to counter corruption going forward. This convention has, for 2 decades, reviewed mechanisms which have catalyzed anti-corruption laws and reforms on a global scale. However, critical gaps remain as national measures and implementation continues to fall short. So hopefully we'll get something out of this. And our final story is Shakespeare lives on as the GOP wants to kill law firms' efforts to have diversity in their law firms by suing them, and they don't want diverse lawyers. So what do you first do? Kill the diversity. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.